So good to see you again.
You too. Okay, so I am on Palma de Mallorca. Background. Paulina, you
I'm
are?
on Ibiza in Santa Eulalia.
I'm not sure where I am, but near.
She's in the middle of the water. It looks
I'm
really
in Florida.
good. You have your what's it called? You have a crown, natural crown.
Mhm.
That's
Or
the next round.
Yes,
Wow.
Rosal.
Oh,
Rosal is
well,
glowing.
welcome everybody to Harmony in the Home. Okay, this is where we discuss different stories, share different stories, and discuss different situations that come up around us and around the people that we love. And we use the tools by Sage University. They're called performance scales, communication and psychological patterns, right? And we use those tools to break down situations and see what can we do about that. So today I wanted to share something that happened earlier with our neighbor while we're traveling, and we're in Airbnb, and there's a really, really sweet man here, um, a son and father. Father is like 87 years old, and his son, I don't know, probably 65 or so.
Oh, wow.
They're really adorable. But for some reason, they have a little bit of a fight going on. And the biggest fight is that the son says, I don't feel appreciated for anything that I do. I wish my dad could see what I'm doing. I wish my dad sees what I'm doing for him. I wish he could appreciate me. I wish. He said, I want.
Yes.
I want him to see it. I want him to know that I'm doing this for him.
Want him to understand, but also like you.
So, thoughts, ideas, feedback on the situation as coaches.
Yeah. So you were in the kitchen and you guys were talking, and that he was sharing this with you.
Yes.
I see. What did you tell him?
I actually went a little coach on him.
Oh, good for you.
Actually, I couldn't go a little coach on him.
You went a lot coach on him?
I went a lot coach on him. I pressed a little bit on his pain. I said, who are you doing this for? Are you doing it so you can be noticed by your father? Or are you doing it because it's coming from the bottom of your heart? And if it's not coming from the bottom of your heart, then you shouldn't do it because it's creating resentment in you. And yeah, that's how the whole conversation, I went a little berserk on him. But he paid, okay? He paid.
Yay. Wow. Good.
He paid.
That's good. That's good.
But what do you ladies see? What's the feedback? Do you see that often in families and situations?
I mean, if I will tell my stories, I always argue with my mom too. So I think it's the who is older than we are, and they want to be right, and we learned that too. So first, at the beginning, like 3-4 years ago, before the Sage, I was arguing too because like I want to be right. That's way how we learn. But then I learned to not do it and just giving feedback and yield. So that's the one couple tools which really powerful. So, and we see that all the time, especially in the family with the parents and kids. So, and what I saw in this situation, like he loves to argue too. So,
Yeah.
and but I want him to understand me. So really, okay, how it works for you. And he's like, he was very mad, all the time. Anything I do, he never see what I do for him. I really appreciate him, but, and I said, we always listen, but after what is coming after but. And that's really he's not enough appreciated. So That's I saw. He needs more appreciation, whatever he does. Very good man. He just in service all the time. He's feeding us. He's helping us open a door and like talking. He's a very good man.
Mm.
But for some reason, we are waiting from our very close people, like mama, father, mother, or kid who is very close to us. And that's really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but there's some juice in the argument as well, right? For people, because people are not appreciating each other and waiting for others to appreciate them. Then they get, how do you appreciate another person? How do you receive appreciation from another person? Is you appreciate them, right? How do you get somebody curious about you? You get curious about them, and then you win their attention, right? Because you notice them. But since people are not aware of that, and this is what the SAGE method is just to become more aware of what it needs to be able to stay a little lighter and to have like good connections with the people in your life. But because people are not aware, they are addicted to the argument because there's juice in it. There's like, something is happening, at least something is happening and I'm not bored, right?
Yes, that's exactly what's going on there too. And what's interesting is, we gave him a little bit of coaching, a lot of bit of coaching. So, and one of the things that came up was he shared, his dad yells at him in the car, "Watch out, there's something." And that stresses him out, gets him frustrated and gets him angry. And then as we're talking, like, what's the reason? There must be something going on in the background. And then he's like, well, a few days ago, he shared with me that ever since he had 2 accidents in his life, he is afraid of being in the car. Mm-hmm. There you go. Like, it's coming from somewhere, like that aggression, whatever it is. And we said, you don't have to believe that story. You don't have to react to it. You can just turn around and say, whoa, what an entertainment. What else do you see? Make it a game. Yeah. Or what I do is I make my music louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, right? Until the person out. And then at some point, they either get it or they don't. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, my father is not going to get it. Like, then you try something else, or don't try to change it. Just be entertained. You don't have to believe that story. You don't have to go into that fight with him. Just be entertained, enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. And even appreciate for him too, that he cares about him enough to say, watch out.
Exactly.
Right. That there's at least somebody there who's watching out for you, watching out so you don't get into a car accident, and say, watch out, watch out. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for caring for me. Of course, let me slow down. Let me pay more attention to the turns. If the connection with the father is really important to him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The connection. Yeah. And they're both super sweet.
Oh, really honey.
Very service. And so it was funny because at lunchtime, one is having salad and the other one starts yelling at him like, why didn't you put any salad dressing in there? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, Daddy, what to put on which I like. Ooh.
I know what I want. And we're like, wow, you're arguing. Yay. And then he's like, oh, Pops, and walks over and gives him a hug and starts kissing him, laughing, and then everything gets good job, guy. Good job. Yeah. Congratulations, you're learning.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they were like really enjoying the arguing. It really sounds like they enjoy it. Like it's part of their routine. It's part of their, it's part of the connection, Then
sometimes it is part of the connection, and if you enjoy that argument, and if it doesn't cause you any pain and you just like barking at each other, go on, have fun with it, enjoy. It's only you need the tools when it doesn't work for you. When you feel afterwards you're like bombarded, like you feel exhausted, or your blood pressure goes up, or your sugar levels go up, right? It's like, then there's not much fun there. I shared my story with my father because for the longest time, I felt the same way. I felt like I was not seen. And I realized now that all I was doing was trying, like, come on, look at me, look what I'm doing. Look, I bought this for you. Look, I did this for you. Look, I graduated, college for you. And I realized that I was not even doing it for me. I was doing it to get noticed by somebody. And then I realized that I can't choose a father. This is who I have. So I have two choices. Do I love and accept him or not? And I choose to love and accept him because I can't choose another one. Is there anyone out there who would like to be my father?
Hey, be careful what you ask for.
I don't want to do that. I'd rather choose my own and accept him for who he is. And the moment I accept him, he accepts me.
Yeah.
That's where the secret comes in. Like, I accept myself, accept him. What's that?
Like he also shared with us, like I told him like when I start arguing with him and telling him that I'm right, he always leaving. He doesn't listen. Like, that's good. Like Alir say, that's good. It's good way to, not arguing because he doesn't want to, his father. But he's like, no, it's not good. He has to listen. He has to listen and see what's
He said he has to hear me and he has to accept that he's wrong.
Oh boy. Oh no. Yeah, there's no joy in that. Not everlasting joy. It's like a momentary high that people are addicted to, which is the drama, the fight, it makes you feel alive. It releases, I think, like also some endorphins. I don't know. It releases something, right? Which for a moment, I'm not specifically sure what it releases, but I know it releases something that in the body that makes you feel alive. Because if you don't have anything lighter, right, that you're doing, that, like, let's say appreciation game, then you will be bored, and when you're bored, that's a lot of pain. So then you go into the argument to feel alive, basically.
Yes, unfortunately, and that's, everybody is hurt afterwards because those feelings get left there. There's the different game, right? There could be a game, like you said, appreciation game. Dad, all right, I'm gonna tell you 5 things I really appreciate about you today. I want to tell you 5 things you're gonna appreciate about me. I don't want to do that. It's like, okay, fine. Then I'm gonna play a game with you. I'm gonna give you 5 appreciations. If you don't want to tell me any, that's fine.
Yeah.
You go bam, 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 and you wait. And then you wait. And if Dad wants, well, I appreciate you for playing this game with me. Yeah, Dad.
It already feels so much lighter even when you say it. I'm going to play an appreciation game with you. It's like there's curiosity, there's energy, there's like it's effortless. It's joyful. It's like, what's that? It's like little kids, like what does that mean,
Yeah. And you can do it with anybody. Do it with the kids, do it with your partners, your parents, your neighbors.
Yeah.
And what was interesting also, like he said, I want him to tell that he's wrong and I'm right. But I asked him, I say, but what you don't like about your father, because he's saying to you all the time, you are wrong and he's right. I say, do you hear yourself? It's just like a very interesting, funny way, like you want from other person, like you said at the beginning, Paulina, they just want to do what they don't do. Like, okay, I'm right and he's wrong. And father, he say the same thing. He say, you're wrong and I'm right. And like,
oh boy.
Oh, there's another game. Let's sit down and have 5 ways where you were really right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know when you told me to stop and I still kept on going, and then and then the tire cap flew off. You were right then, man. Like you were right. Oh, you know when you told me not to eat too much sugar, and then my blood sugar went up.
Yeah.
You were right, man. Like you were
Yeah.
so right. Like instead of
Yeah.
playing the wrong game, flip it
Right.
and play the right game.
Fun.
I love that. I love that. And families need that so much right now. The families, they're always arguing who's right, who's wrong, and trying to prove a point. Nobody's getting their way. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody disconnects, right? Because you lose the connection to the other person. And for what? So you could be right. I mean, you like literally get nothing out of it. Nothing. There's no joy. There's no money. There's no friendships. There's no pleasure. There's nothing. There's just like feeling horrible, like literally horrible physically, right? Because either you get sick or blood pressure, or like you just get exhausted, right? Because you just had like an argument trying to prove something, and it's exhausting. So literally people don't get anything. So I love what you said, Aaliyah, like 5 things that you did right today. Name 5 things. I'm going to name 5 things that you did right today.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to do it. Even if you don't do it, I will do it. Yeah.
Look, Lena, you're so excited about it. You're like all the way in the screen. You're
I
like,
know. I know. I was like,
"Okay,
you're going to feel good, and I'm going to make sure of it, and you're going to like it.
yes, yes.
Yes.
So it's interesting because our trainer has been telling me for a while the difference between dominating and dominant. And today I got it.
Ooh.
The dominant, it
Tell us.
calms you down because you got this. No matter what, you're unshakable, right?
Mhm.
Like, you are that force in the room that no matter what's going on, you're like, and everybody's fighting. And you're like, like you're so like dominant. I think I understood it correctly. Like you're so dominant because you're calming everybody down. And then dominating is when you're like, I'm going to freaking prove to you that you're wrong.
Yeah. That lights you up.
This is what was happening. He's like, I'm going to make sure he needs to know he's wrong. I said, why? Why does he need to know that he's wrong? Because he's wrong. Like in whose view? So even if you walk over to me, like put your cheek next to me and look at the same thing, you still have about 3-4 degree difference, right? So you can never see it the same way unless you take me away and put yourself in my shoe. And still you don't see the same thing because you're different height, your body is different height, and so on. So you can't really see the same things that I'm seeing. So in my world, the example he used was hilarious.
Yes, tell us.
Take him outside and you show him that this is a white pole, he's going to be like, no, it's a black pole. And Gazelle was like, well, maybe in his eyes it's a black pole.
Yeah.
You just don't know it. Maybe
That's good. That's good.
He was like little confusion there.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. So, and that's what I got today. It was like, you have to be the dominant force because then you calm everybody down. You don't get into the fight. And then the other one is just like jumping around. Like, I'm going to prove to you you're wrong.
And the thing, there's a difference between being right or proving somebody they're wrong.
Yes.
Because he's right. And so is his father. He's also right. Like everybody's right. I'm right. You're right. And nobody's wrong.
Exactly. We actually told him that about the pole.
Him is confusion.
Like, yes, it's a white pole. Yes, it's a black pole. He was like, huh? Like,
That was good.
and he's right. Right? It's both. It doesn't have to be one or the other. In your world, in your truth, you're right. And his world, his truth, he's right. It's like,
it's a perspective, right? Like from where you're watching, and everybody's right because it's their perspective. How could they ever be wrong? How could anybody ever be wrong?
did you see
That
his
way, right? It's just
so,
like,
did you see his confusion? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was very confused. Like,
Well,
and usually we give a feedback. It's like, oh, that's very interesting view. I never thought about that. It's just like, okay, and and it's real. Like sometimes we don't see that way, and the person when they told you, is like, not, instead of arguing, just see maybe that it is possible too. Like, oh, I didn't see that way, not
Mhm.
yet. So thank you for telling that, so I can like be more, you know, thinking about that, so I can see more the same thing. I can like how we make a joke in Russian, like the same X but different perspective. When you
Yeah.
just watch the X, the same X. I don't know how it's better to translate.
That's a good translation. That was good. Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah,
And
you actually you lifted him up because he was in the argument. So he was, well, for everyone who's watching, you can look at the performance scales on sageuniversity.com. And you will find the performance scales, and you'll notice that below the line, which is the box worldwide, where everybody's quite heavy and aggressive and, you know, trying to prove a point, working hard, very sad. So he was there, right, with his father. But then when you gave him the feedback and the coaching, you lifted him up to confusion, which is at 0.
yes.
0 is the what? Yeah. And then from there he could go into, you know, the collaboration and playfulness and yielding and appreciation, you know, and then he started to like you almost like zoomed him out and
What?
showed him
Right.
like a bigger perspective.
Wait, what?
He actually had the trial coaching, and he's very curious. Let's see, because he said, oh, I need to learn that. I said, okay, we're here. And
Yeah.
so
Sweet.
very important. And only I want to say, it sounds very easy, but yes, you need practice. You need practicing this over and over. We're still even learning. How many years we're learning, right? And everybody, like I learned like 5 years. Paulina, you 8 or 9?
8.
8
Yes,
years.
I count.
Yeah,
Yes.
2 years. And learning, and we do mistakes also, but more we practice, more we see, and I said, wow, that really works. Only what I can say, it works. So that's why I was trying and see. It changed my life. It changed everybody's life
Changed
here.
my life. Yeah, for sure.
Why not to share, right?
Yes. So check out the performance scales. We'll add them on the video, and use them. They're free. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so
See you
much,
next
ladies.
time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.